Does your body tense up the second you try to rest? If self care feels wrong or even dangerous, this is for you. And I mean unsafe when I say dangerous. And I'm not talking about bubble baths in terms of self-care. I mean that moment or those quiet moments where you try to sit down and just relax, but you feel your chest tightening and it because it feels like you should be doing something. There's almost a sense of FOMO, like this is time wasted. I have the to-do list. I should be doing something. That's the moment that we're rewiring. That moment where it doesn't feel safe for you not to be doing something when you just want to be. I'm Dr. Jite, and we were taught that being a good woman means overgiving, always showing up, always handling it, always putting someone else, everyone else first. That's why the second you sit down, you just start feeling like, I should be doing more, I should be doing something. This is like a waste of time. And I've said that. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to rewire that moment. We're going to do it gently because we are in a phase where I want us to nurture ourselves, but we're also going to do it fast because I don't want you continuing to burn out for no reason with nothing but clothes, shoes, a title to show for it. You, my lady, you deserve more than exhaustion. You deserve more than burnout. You deserve to be you. And so I'm going to show you three ways in which guilt typically shows up when we choose to just relax and when we're just trying to get in tune with ourselves without all the chaos and all the doing that we've been doing. Here's why it shows up. It shows up because number one, we are so used to being praised for self-sacrifice, being the strong woman. That strong black woman trap is a real thing because it makes you feel inherently that if you're not doing something, you are not worthy, you're not valuable, you're not contributing. So there's a lot of applause, there's a lot of wow when you say things like, oh, I slept at 6 a.m. and I woke up at 7 a.m. Oh, I worked till this time. We're in a society at a time where we glorify self-sacrifice and we get praise for it. That's why guilt shows up. The second reason is that we learned people might pull back if we stop over delivering. And this is typical for high achievers who have internalized worth with value or with giving. Worth, value with giving and doing. So I'm not worthy, I'm not valuable if I'm not doing. We feel that if we don't continue, people will not want to be. And these are not thoughts that are running consciously for the most part, but that's the way we feel. And that's why a lot of things we do are attached to performance. So we think we've learned, actually, we've been conditioned that if we're not doing, people may not like us, they may not invite us, they may not. I know it sounds very basic, but it's true, or very trivial. And then the third reason why guilt shows up when you try to rest, when you try to just be, is somewhere along the line we picked up the belief that rest has to be earned. So you don't stop to rest until you're almost at death's door or until there's sadly some serious disease or illness, or you've stressed yourself to the point where you're about to have a heart attack, and that's when it's like, okay, now I have to rest. Those are the three main reasons why guilt shows up when you try to rest. But here's a reframe that I want you to sit with. Self-care is not dessert that comes after you've been grinding and hustling and done everything and there's nothing else to do. That's when it's like, oh yeah, let me care for myself. Think of it as being, since I'm using the food analogy, think of it as being the kitchen where the dessert is made, the kitchen that is feeding everything else. So if self-care is the kitchen and you don't take care of the kitchen, how do you get to feed everyone, right? How do you get your meals? Because you need to take care of yourself so that you can do the things that you need to do and be who you need to be, more importantly. And I don't just want to talk about theory, right? I really want us to ground today's what you hear today, what you get today, in practical steps that you can begin to implement immediately and see those shifts. So I'm going to give you 3 moves that actually make this whole self-care part of you, that can make this self-care lifestyle a lifestyle for you, that you can actually feel this week. One is called the 1 hour block. And here is where you put one protected hour, or if you want 30 minutes, because I feel like some of you are like, 1 hour, I don't have the time, I don't have the time. That's why you need to make the time. So maybe 30 minutes, but it's actually called the 1 hour block, right? Put 1 hour on your calendar where you're not doing any errands, where you're not fixing anything, not cleaning, no sneaking in of work anywhere. And title it, honestly, I have a Google Calendar. It's easy to use, it's free, so that's my recommendation, but whatever system works for you. Title it Care Appointment. It's with yourself and it's non negotiable. So the title is Care Appointment Non Negotiable, because that's really what it is. It's an appointment that's non negotiable with yourself. Number 2 is called 2 scripts. So you pick one or the other to use. Don't use both. I know as a high achiever, you won't use everything. Just one. The first one is home/partner, right? And this is the script. I'm off duty tonight. I'll be back at 7 p.m. That's it. No, nothing else. I know you want to add more inclinations to add more, give more explanations. Nope. Again, you have 2 scripts to choose from. One is the home/partner, and the script is I'm off duty tonight. I will be back at 7 p.m. Period. The second script is for family and friends/friends, right? And here it is. The second script is for family/friends. Excuse me, and here it is. Sunday is my reset hour. I am not available then. Again, no more, no less, as it is. And you can watch this video again if you missed the scripts. If they push you, if there's some pushback, because again, for most of us, this will be new and they may not be used to seeing us in this role or enforcing boundaries. So if there's any type of pushback, I want you to say, or first of all, I want you to remember that you don't owe anyone a debate. Your appointment with yourself is for yourself and it's a non-negotiable. So you're not debating, it's not open for debate. Just repeat the script. That's it. Any type of adding on, justification, defensiveness ruins everything, right? So if there's any type of pushback, just say I'm not available during my reset. Period. Simple. It works. It works. And then the third thing is what I call body downshift. And it's a 60-second practice. Literally, before you answer any request or respond to any ask that's placed on you, you inhale, you hold, and you exhale. Okay? And you do that for 6 cycles. That just calms your nervous system, helps it to just remain I forgot. It helps you to remain as is, right? You want to make sure that whatever is happening, your nervous system doesn't get agitated or triggered. And when you do that, just make sure that if you're clenching, if you're a clencher, you relax your jaws. If you're someone who's like this, which is many of us, relax your shoulders, place your hands on something solid, typically your thighs or underneath, right? And that just sort of grounds you back to your body and you're resetting, right? So that you're not, a person's emergency doesn't become yours, you know? So that third practice is called a body down shift. And you're breathing in 4 seconds, holding and exhaling 6 deep. Put your hands on your thighs or underneath, unclench your jaw, relax your shoulders, and just do that 6 times, 6 cycles. So that's it. And check-in question that I use and I would encourage you to use is, when any request is made of you during this sacred time, if I say yes to this request or this ask, What am I saying no to for me? Because you have to remember, every time you say yes to something that is not what you want to do, you're saying no to whatever it is that you want to do. So if you are saying yes, or if you are acquiescing their request or their ask of you, you are saying no to yourself, because your yes to yourself is a no to them, right? So that's a way to check in to make sure that you are honoring yourself and your self-care integrity to providing self-care to yourself. You are your biggest fan. You should be, and that should be evident in every area of your life, not just in the external things but even internally. I remember we're talking about self-care that's beyond nails and hair and all those types of spa. Those things are great, but they can be done without the internal care, which is really what this is about. So your micro move tonight is to block your next reset on your calendar, 1 hour, 30 minutes. Title it what I told you again. Watch the video to get the details, and send one script to someone who needs to hear it. Right? So those are the micro moves for tonight. I don't like homework. We're too grown for homework. Homework causes nervous system stress. So micro move is what I like. In fact, micro self-care move is really like what it is, right? So again, your micro self-care move for today is to block the time on your calendar, your reset hour, title it if you're using a Google Calendar, whatever calendar you're using, and also send one of those scripts, one of the two, not both, and to someone who needs to hear it, right? Who's been cruising or bruising. That's your bruising, not tonight, not doing it. And that's you practicing, not just thinking about it. We want to move out of our heads into our doing, right? And into our being ultimately. So if you are tired of feeling guilty every time you try to rest, or every time you want to just take some time for yourself, I would love for you, besides the practices that I've shared, I would love for you to also grab my guide. It's new. I created it for us because we are always doing. And we just now need to stop doing and start being, so that when we do, we're doing from a place of ease and comfort and softness. It's called the 5 signs you're in the strong black woman trap, and it will help you to see exactly where performance has taken over your life, where it's sneaking in, and how to stop abandoning yourself for others. The link is below, and I'll see you in the next video.